Hello everyone, how are you? Welcome to another learning time with Miss Blessing. In today's lesson, we're going to discover changes in the habitat and consequences. By the end of today's lesson, you should be able to tell what a habitat is. You should be able to tell some of the changes that happens in a habitat and the consequences of these changes with reference to the Great Barrier Reef. Come along, let's learn together. What might the term habitat mean? I bet you might have heard of this word. It's the place where an animal or plant lives and grows. Habitat is the place where an animal or plant lives and grows. A habitat is where an animal finds the food, water, and shelter it needs to live. So habitat is where animals or plants live and grow. It is where they find what keeps them alive, their food, clothing, shelter. That is called a habitat. Don't forget this. Now, there are different types of habitats. Can you think of one? Pause the video and have a go and come right back. Let's see if the ones you mentioned are part of the ones on the slide. Welcome back. Now let's see some of the different types of habitats we have. Okay, over here we have the mountains, we have the grasslands, we have the polar regions, the wetlands, the rainforest, the deserts, the urban, and this is the marine. All these are different places where animals and plants live. If you observe the picture, you would see they are quite different. Example, this is grassy, as it's called grasslands. This is mountainous. This is icy. As you can see, we have some snow and ice all over. And here we have wetlands. Here we have the rainforest, we have the desert, and we have the urban habitats. All these are different types of habitats where you can find different animals, different people, different plants living and growing together. Now, what is habitat change and what might this mean? Remember, we are learning to discover changes in the habitat and consequences. So what is habitat change and what might this mean? Pause the video and have a go. Welcome back. So habitat change is the change in the environmental conditions in which a particular animal or organism lives. Habitat change is the change in the environmental conditions in which a particular animal or organism lives. Mention some of the causes of changes in a habitat. Here are some of the causes or some of the things that bring about changes in the habitat. Habitat change can occur naturally through droughts, disease, fire, hurricanes, mudslides, volcanoes, earthquakes, slight increases or decreases in seasonal temperature. Habitat change can also occur due to human influences such as habitat destruction and pollution. When people cut down lots of trees, they are depriving some animals, the birds, some insects, squirrel, they are depriving them of their homes. Pollution, when things are dumped in the water, in the environment, causing harm to the environment, making it uninhabitable for the habitat of that place. Now, these changes can pose a great risk to animals and plants that live in the habitat. So, the task you're going to be doing today is research what changes happens in the Great Barrier Reef. Remember, we are learning about habitat change. Now it's your turn. What changes happens in the Great Barrier Reef? What causes these changes in the Great Barrier Reef? How can the changes be prevented? What measures are being taken to prevent the habitat changes in the Great Barrier Reef? There are 3 different tasks. Choose one, or better still, you can do all of them. I expect excellent students to do all the tasks. It broadens your mind. It helps you know much more. Also, research the crown of thorns starfish. Explain what the crown of thorns starfish is, its predators, why it is having such a devastating effect on the Great Barrier Reef, and what measures are being taken to tackle the problem. We have learned what a habitat is. We have learned about some of the changes that happens in a habitat and the causes of these changes. Now, we want to discover what changes happens in the Great Barrier Reef, what causes the changes, and how this can be prevented. Your extension task is research the crown of thorns starfish and explain its effects on the Great Barrier Reef. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Let me know how you felt about today's lesson. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.